Welcome to the criminal imagination, where crime isn't just what happens, but why it haunts us. In the golden age of crime fiction, three women carved their names into literary history: Agatha Christie, Dorothy L. Sayers, and Marjorie Allingham. They didn't just create detectives, they created mythologies. Christie, for all her cunning puzzles and murderers in plain sight, rarely troubled the waters of social commentary. Her detectives Poirot and Marple possessed great discernment, yet the household staff remained in their place, forever peripheral. She was more concerned with deception than disruption, more logic puzzle than literature. The upper class stayed upper, the lower order stayed lower. Everyone knew their lines. But then there was Dorothy L. Sayers. Her contribution? A nobleman detective, Lord Peter Wimsey, who spoke like a Woodhouse character and requested Chateau de Yquem like one might ask for tap water. At first glance, one might think Wimsey a clever trick, a parody so convincing that the murderer and the reader would lower their guard. But no, Sayers meant him. Every what-ho and flourish of baffled enthusiasm is offered without irony. He's not a disguise, he's the point. A detective who solves murders between sips of vintage wine and snippets of forgotten Latin poetry. His sidekick, Bunter, is less Watson and more Jeeves, polished, stoic, and ever ready with a tie or a testimony. Sayers adored her creation. Her admiration wasn't masked by satire, it marched proudly, one arm looped through the absurd. Even when Lord Peter offers casual remarks veiled in racism or anti-Semitism, the narrative does not punish him. The yokels, as they appear, are painted dim and disposable. Sayers' world, like Christie's, is rigidly stratified, only with more champagne. And yet, these books thrilled the public. Wimsey's popularity matched that of Poirot and Marple. Should we judge the readers of the 1920s for their taste? Not necessarily. These were not novels for realism. They were fantasy worlds dressed in tweed and lace. Wimsey wasn't just implausible, he was impossible. But that was the point. In an era wounded by war, people wanted puzzles, not politics, closure, not commentary. Sayers herself admitted this in her 1928 introduction to great short stories of detection, mystery, and horror. The genre, she said, was the cousin of riddles, puzzles, and parlor games. It didn't matter if Lord Wimsey was absurd, that was the charm. And he wasn't alone. H.C. Bailey's Mr. Fortune came first, a detective who behaved as though nobility were merely misplaced in his bloodline. Sir Henry Merivale, Carter Dickinson's blustering baronet, kept murder squarely elsewhere, far from the real lives of real readers. And then Marjorie Allingham's Albert Campion, tall, bespectacled, eccentric, and possibly of royal blood. Even Marsh, all the way from New Zealand, gave us Roderick Allen, a Scotland Yard man, sure, but one whose mother breeds dogs for dukes. These were not detectives of the people, they were detectives of the elite. The manor was the stage, the puzzle, and the performance. The murder, merely a disturbance in etiquette. So tell me this: do you prefer your detectives aristocratic and eccentric, or grounded and grim? What does the illusion of class add to or take away from mystery? Do you think aristocratic detective still has a place in modern crime fiction? Let me know in the comments. Like the intrigue? Then like the video. Subscribe to the Criminal Imagination and share it with someone who loves their murder neatly solved and their tea properly served. Until next time, stay curious, stay cunning, and remember, every crime reveals a mind.